CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Back in the Charm City, feels chillier than the 52 degrees. Wind could be a factor here this afternoon. Before we kick things off, let's bring in the third member of our crew down to the field, Evan Washburn.
Well, and we know the Bengals are without all-pro wide receiver A.J. Green. He did not make the trip here to Baltimore, rather staying in Cincinnati to continue treatment on that right hamstring injury that he suffered last week against Buffalo, and an injury that initially appeared to be severe, possibly season-ending as he was carted off the field. But the diagnosis has trended in a positive direction in recent days, and Marvin Lewis actually told us yesterday that on a scale from 1 to 5, it's a grade 2 strain, and he's hopeful that A.J. Green will be back soon, guys.
And Evan, they thought when the injury happened it was more like a 4 if we're sticking with those numbers.
Well, that's according to the coach, who can't feel a thing.
Wait, so what's your point?
I'm telling you that when it happened for A.J. Green, it was maybe a 10. It hurt badly.
A.J. Green, number 2 in the NFL in receiving yards. Cincinnati won the toss. They have deferred, so Baltimore will receive. Devin Hester, number 2 in kickoff return yards. Mike Nugent, whose job was in jeopardy this week, remains with Cincinnati, kicks it off, and it is a touchback. Baltimore will have it at the 25-yard line. Joe Flacco struggles against Cincinnati in his last 4 games, 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions against the Bengals.
And he knows it'll take a combination of patience and aggressiveness against the secondary. He expects more zone today, and that will require him to be patient, but he also knows he'll get some chances to go deep, especially against the aggressive Adam Jones with some double moves.
So the Ravens open up at the 25-yard line. Nickel package for Cincinnati with Darquez Denard. It's a gift to Terrence West. And West short of the 30-yard line. It's a 4-yard gain for West. Starting offense for the Baltimore Ravens. What a story. Marshall Yanda, perennial Pro Bowler, left shoulder injury. So normally the right guard, he's starting at left guard for the 2nd consecutive week to protect that shoulder. Dennis Pitta still looking for his first touchdown. Hasn't had one since 2013 because of injuries. Dump off to West. He's got a first down across the 35-yard line. Burfict and Denard combined to bring down the Towson product.
Yeah, real good effort by West to split the tackles. Burfict coming up, but West caught the ball about 3 yards short of the first down and just powered across the 35-yard line.
Ravens will go with 2 tight ends, Pitta and Waller. And Baltimore going no huddle here early on. James Hurst, extra offensive lineman. Juszczyk sets up as a receiver. Flacco, play action. And Flacco's pass is knocked down. Carlos Dunlap there defensively leads this impressive front. 5.5 sacks, had a half sack last week in the 16-12 loss to Buffalo. Linebackers, Vontaze Burfict, 3 straight games of double-digit tackles for Burfict. And in the secondary, Josh Shaw in for the injured Sean Williams. No Deron Smith as well for Cincinnati. 2nd and 10. Back to the run. West bouncing to the outside. Sticks the helmet down, and Michael Johnson is the first man to greet him. They limit West to a 2-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and long now for Baltimore.
And you go back to that first down pass that Dunlap knocked down. That's 9 times this year that he has deflected a pass at the line of scrimmage at 6'6" and long arms. Really gets in a lot of throwing lanes, and that frustrates the quarterback.
Ravens have dropped 5 of their last 7 games after starting the season 3-0, and they have struggled on 3rd down throughout the season. Kamar Aiken sets up off the line on a 3rd and 8 for Baltimore. Here comes the rush. Flacco floats it to Aiken. And Aiken's got a first down. Hit by Adam Jones. They needed 8. They got 11 through the air.
Yeah, crossing route by Aiken. He does a nice job right side of the screen. You see Pitta kind of clears things out for him, taking the secondary with him down the middle. And Burfict is going to get picked up nicely that time by the rookie Ronnie Stanley.
Baltimore sends Nick Boyle into the game. 2nd-year tight end from Delaware. Just served a 10-game suspension for performance-enhancing drugs. Handoff. Kenneth Dixon on the stutter step move. into Cincinnati territory, just crossing midfield, hit by Vontaze Burfict. Give Dixon a 2-yard gain. So they're looking for that 1-2 punch of West and Dixon, and each week Dixon's snaps creep higher and higher. Balance so far, 3 running plays, 3 passes, moving quickly again. 2nd and 8, outlet receiver, in stride, it's Dixon on the catch and run. Kenneth Dixon. Big fan of Marshall Faulk when he was growing up. Also has a lot of respect for Le'Veon Bell because of the receiving skills. He wants to be a complete back.
It was a quick decision by Flacco to see his outlet receiver Dixon all by himself to the outside, and a perfect throw in stride, 16 yards on the game.
Baltimore on the move. Handoff. Dixon finds a lane. The cut by Dixon. Driving forward inside the 20. Good block from Rick Wagner and Nick Boyle. 15 yards for the rookie.
Here's Boyle here, and it's a off-tackle play by Dixon. The jump cut right about here will force the Bengals to retreat here. How about the power now by Dixon on Dre Kirkpatrick for extra yardage. 15 yards after the 16-yard reception.
Handed off to Terrence West. West runs into a crowd, 2-yard pickup. Pat Sims in on the stop for Cincinnati.
Now this hurry-up offense is working extremely well for the Ravens and John Harbaugh. Bengals are on their heels right now, and the Flacco operating smoothly.
Marty Morningway calling the plays for Baltimore. They've been through a lot of offensive coordinators through the years here with the Ravens. Flacco deep drop. Tosses it to Steve Smith Sr. And he hauls it in for a modest gain, hit by Ray Malaluga on the play. Smith went over 1,000 catches in his career last week, became the 14th player to do it, and the first one under 6 feet to accomplish it.
Extremely strong hands as that ball brushes the ground. This is close to being an incomplete pass here, so the ball will move there. But no challenge from Cincinnati.
It's a 3rd and 5. Flacco out of the gun. Flacco takes a shot. End zone! Looking for Perriman. Touchdown! Oh, what a grab! Perriman was not targeted last week against Dallas.
Now 2 weeks ago he got a touchdown against Cleveland. This is spectacular. Watch the feet. Both feet in, right over the top of Denard. Ball perfectly placed by Flacco to the back of the end zone.
Rashad Perriman.
Then the right foot, and then the left foot for good measure. Flacco 5 for 6 on the drive, 5 different receivers. And a perfect way to start if you're a Raven fan.
Knee injury cost him his rookie season last year. Perriman, a guy that Baltimore was depending upon to give them speed and dynamic abilities on the perimeter. Dan, you mentioned it, his first career touchdown in that Thursday night game against Cleveland, and now he has career touchdown number 2 on a fantastic catch in the corner of the end zone. Tucker on for the extra point. He's never missed one in his career, now in his 5th year in the NFL. 11 plays, 75 yards. Tucker tacks it on, and Baltimore strikes first. On the opening drive, the Ravens march down the field, and it culminates on a fantastic grab by Perriman. Going against number 24 defense in the NFL, Baltimore was surgical on that opening drive. Perriman, the 14-yard touchdown reception. First touchdown on an opening drive since week 5 against Washington. And the Ravens lead it 7-0. Justin Tucker will kick it off. Alex Erickson is deep, along with Cedric Pierman, who is back. He's on IR. He returns, and Erickson's going to take this one out of the end zone. Erickson toppled by Matt Elam on special teams. Erickson, the rookie out of Wisconsin, hit hard on the return.
Well, the touchdown reception, it's man-to-man coverage for the Bengals. Here's Perriman, and here is Denard, and it's an out-and-up route. And it's really good tight coverage by Darqueze Dennard, but a perfect throw and a really spectacular catch in the back of the end zone. Not only the catch, but the footwork at the end of it.
Cincinnati first possession for the Bengals, and it's a handoff to Jeremy Hill. Picks up 3 yards on the play. Lawrence Guy will get credit for the tackle. Well, the big problem for Cincinnati and for Andy Dalton this season, Dan, they are scoring 6.3 points less per game this season compared to 2015.
But he saw the trouble the Ravens had in the secondary last week with Jimmy Smith out of the lineup. He told us he likes the matchups on the outside with his speed receivers, James Wright and the rookie Cody Core.
Going with a 3 tight end look here. Dalton, that's a high pass. Incomplete. He put it over the head of Cody Core, the rookie out of Mississippi, looking for his first NFL grab.
Well, good read by Tavon Young, as he is there before the ball gets there. And that's one thing that John Harbaugh talked to us about, the fact that last week Young played a little too soft, gave up too much cushion to the Cowboy wide receivers.
Harbaugh said it was the first time all year that Young looked like a rookie, that playoff atmosphere in Dallas. Dalton hooks a pass downfield, and a catch made by Tyler Boyd. Quiets the crowd. It's a first down, but a penalty marker thrown.
Holding. Offense number 85. It's a 10-yard penalty. Still third down.
Clete Blakeman is our referee.
It's curious they've got Tyler Eifert pass protecting. Here he is left side of the screen. Dalton does a nice job of picking up the bad snap, but you can see the hold and the tackle by Tyler Eifert on Zachary Orr.
So back it up. Instead of breathing room and a new set of downs to work with, Cincinnati faces a 3rd and 17. Gerard Powers in as the nickel for Baltimore. It was an 18-yard reception from the gun. Dalton trying to get out of trouble. Flushed and will run out of bounds. Cincinnati will punt. Albert McClellan on the chase down. 2 yards on the scramble by Dalton. And Marvin Lewis still upset about the call on Eifert.
Yeah, he won't be when he reviews the tape of this game. Not only was it a hold, it was a takedown.
Well, Dan, we don't talk about snappers all that often, but when they're injured, they pop up in conversation. Clark Harris is out with a groin injury. Tyler Ott snapping to Kevin Huber. High punt. Hester. Down the sideline. Devin Hester is tripped up. Hester has been under scrutiny for the punt returns not being what they once were. Hester, a guy that very well could go to the Hall of Fame based on his return ability. That's a 28-yard return. He's not what he once was, but shows you that he still has the burst. That's his longest punt return of the season.
Yeah, not only because of his ability, but his numbers returning kicks is just phenomenal. But there's the burst down the sidelines, and he's always thinking about one thing, and that's getting all the way to the end zone. A tackle there to keep him out that time.
Sets up Baltimore nicely with a 1st and 10 at the Cincinnati 36, already up 7-0. Play action. Flacco swings it underneath, complete. Kenneth Dixon fighting for extra yards after the initial contact. And Dixon dropped by Burfict and Kirkpatrick. 3.5-yard gain on the play.
Well, Dixon already getting more involved in the offense. That's 2 receptions now to go along with his 2 rushes.
Kyle Juszczyk sets up as a receiver, tried to throw it to him, and Juszczyk was open, but he and Flacco weren't on the same page.
It looked like Carlos Danby got in the throwing lane there. May have affected that pass by Flacco. Flacco at 6'6", maybe a little bit taller, maybe. Rarely gets balls deflected. But Dunlop got him on the first series.
Baltimore 3-0 against the AFC North, 2-5 against the rest of their opponents. 3rd and 7. Flacco, strong throw downfield, and he makes the connection with Kamar Aiken for a first down. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York. JB, Bart Scott.
Ian, a first for golf. Jared Goff throws his first NFL touchdown pass to Tavon Austin, 24 yards. JB, you better get that ball back as the Rams are up 7-0 New Orleans.
Back to Ian, Dan, and Evan.
Well, #1 pick, getting an opportunity in his rookie season. Joe Flacco's been a starter since day one of his rookie season with Baltimore. Checks it down to Terrence West, and they pick up just a yard on the completion, covered there by Josh Shaw on the play. 2nd and long now for the Ravens, but they're threatening once again. 7 minutes to play in the first. Baltimore's got a 7-0 lead on Cincinnati. Ravens interaction number 22 in total offense, 25th in scoring, under 20 points per game. Give it to West. Cut up field for West, and he's hit inside the 10 by the veteran Carlos Dansby. 4-yard gain for Terrence West.
Yeah, running behind Rick Wagner and Darren Waller on the right side. Waller with a good block on Dunlap. And West with 225 pounds, lowering his shoulder, picking up a couple.
It's a 3rd and 5 for the Ravens. Flacco working out of the gun. Flacco in trouble, and he is dumped. Dunlap getting to the quarterback. First man there for Cincinnati. And some issues after the play was finished. Defensive coordinator Paul Gunther's defense comes up with a play. Smith got shoved down, and this is where the issues came up. Perfect with the flop as Smith came up off the ground. And a penalty marker on the play.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 89. It's a 15-yard penalty. The down counts, and it brings up 4th down.
You would think 16 years in the league and a number of those type of penalties against Steve Smith that he'd learn his lesson at some point, but this was not a bad, dirty play by Vontaze Burfict. He just pushed him to the ground totally legally. There's nothing wrong with that. And then just a little bit of a shove there, but Smith, this you just can't do. You can see the official coming in to break it up before it even started.
Well, Burfict smiling after the play. Obviously, he also flopped a bit after the push, but he got the attention of the officials, and now it puts Justin Tucker in a position for a 52-yard field goal. He has been perfect this season. 30 straight field goals made. Tucker continues it, and it's perfect down the middle. John Harbaugh said he gets angry if the kick isn't even close. He likes the pressure. Always a festive atmosphere here in Baltimore as the Ravens add to their lead 10-0 with 5:39 to go in this opening quarter. Alex Erickson and Cedric Pierman are back deep. Justin Tucker, 31 straight field goals for Tucker going back to last season. After the penalty, pushed Tucker back, still made it from 52 yards away. Erickson inside the 5. A shake and bake move by Erickson. He brings it across the 25, and that's where Cincinnati will have it after the special teams tackle by Darren Waller. Andy Dalton, he's averaging just under 38 passes per game this season. That's because Cincinnati plays from behind quite a bit. They're in a 10-0 hole in the first quarter in Baltimore. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to breaking news and expert analysis of your favorite team. It has everything you need. Download the CBS Sports app today. Cincinnati has allowed their opponent to score a touchdown on the opening drive in 4 straight games, 6 of the last 8. They now trail 10-0. Dalton to Jeremy Hill, the catch and run across the 35 for 9, hit by Sharice Wright. Starting offense for Cincinnati, Andrew Whitworth gets to see his old pal Terrell Suggs once again. Those guys have had some battles through the years. Suggs injured last season. Tyler Boyd, no A.J. Green. He's picked up some tips from Green just being around him. He said A.J.'s work ethic is off the charts. It's all in the details with A.J. Green. Still the first guy in every meeting. Suggs on the rush. Protection is there. Dalton. Catch is made. Ryan Hewitt has got a first down. Ridden down by Albert McClellan. 5 yards on the grab by Hewitt. Defensively for Baltimore, so tough to run up the middle on these guys because of big Brandon Williams. He's emerged as one of the best nose tackles in the NFL. McClellan had his first sack of the season last week. We will also see Elvis Dumerville for Baltimore, who is active. And in the secondary, Sharice Wright back for the second consecutive week. No Jimmy Smith, their best corner, out with a back injury. Dalton, play action. Deep shot. Weddle drops the football over the head of James Wright, and Eric Weddle disappointed in himself in what looked to be a sure pick.
Yeah, this ball way overthrown by Dalton, trying to get right down the middle of the field. But Weddle must have taken his eye off of this ball because it is right in his lap. Pressure comes late to Dalton, and he's lucky it's not picked off.
Second and 10 for Cincinnati. Jeremy Hill plowing out near midfield. Strong run by Hill, 7 yards. Clint Bowling with a key block up front. Week 17 last year, last time these two teams met, Hill had 96 rushing yards and a touchdown. Sets up a 3rd and 3 now for Cincinnati. Rex Burkhead stepping in that Giovanni Bernard role. Bernard out for the season with a torn ACL. He suffered it late in the game in the loss to Buffalo. 4 receivers set. Play clock winding down. Dalton, quick hitter to the sideline. Hauled in by James Wright. Outstanding grab by the 3rd-year wide receiver for 9 yards.
Well, Dalton sees man-to-man coverage with Tavon Young here, and he throws him a back shoulder fade right on time before Young can break on it. Good read by Dalton and a good adjustment by James Wright.
Marvin Lewis talked about the confidence he has in Wright and Cody Core to step forward. They can't replace A.J. Green, of course. Hand off Jeremy Hill. Nothing there. Wrapped up immediately. Brandon Williams, first man there, and then got some help. 2-yard pickup. But Marvin also said that because of the A.J. injury, it gets Andy Dalton back to his progressions, looking for everybody and not necessarily keying in on his all-pro wideout.
Well, that's a difficult situation sometimes because Green has been so reliable for Dalton. They've been together for so many years now, 6. But we've seen Dalton so far, except for that pass that Weddle should have picked off, he has been going through his progressions and finding the desirable receiver.
Motion man, the veteran LaFell, 2nd and 8 for Cincinnati in Baltimore territory. Dalton, that's on time. LaFell slowed down after the catch, and he's got a first down. Inside the 30, it was Young who whiffed. 12 yards on the pass play. No A.J. Green today because of the hamstring injury. And Green has put up big numbers against Baltimore in his career, including 227 receiving yards September of last season.
Dalton has hit 4 different receivers so far for 35 yards and has looked sharp on his last couple of throws.
Line of scrimmage is down to 29. Dalton is 4 out of 6 for 35 yards. On a give, Jeremy Hill tried to redirect. Now there's nothing there. No gain on the play for Cincinnati.
Now they're going up against the toughest run defense in the NFL. Ravens give up just 76 yards a game on the ground on average. But the Bengals have got to continue to try to run the ball so that it takes some pressure off of Dalton in the pass game.
John Harbaugh's squad is allowing 3.39 yards per carry. That's also best in the NFL. They've only given up 4 rushing touchdowns this season, the fewest in the league. Under a minute to go in the first. Ravens crowd the line on a 2nd and 10 for the Bengals. Dalton gets rid of it. Nobody home. He was looking for Eifert, but that pressure affected Dalton. Zachary Orr among those putting the heat on.
And there was some confusion with the offensive line. Clint Bowling and Russell Bodine right here. And there's the blitz there by Zachary Orr. Nobody picks him up, so Dalton wisely throws it away.
Sets up 3rd and 10. Quick snap. Dalton rifles it downfield. He's got his man, Tyler Boyd. First down, Cincinnati, with Gerard Powers drawing the assignment defensively. 18 yards on the hookup.
Well, Powers has got man-to-man coverage on Boyd. Boyd with a sharp route to the outside. Got to give the offensive line a lot of credit that time, because it was an all-out blitz by the Ravens, and they could not get home, and Dalton made them pay.
34 catches on the season now for Tyler Boyd in his rookie year from Pitt. Cincinnati knocking on the door. Dalton underneath. Catch made. Jeremy Hill. Little juke move on Zachary Orr. Got some extra yards. Total of 6 on the play, and that's going to be the final play of this opening quarter. Baltimore's got a 10-0 lead on Cincinnati. Orr may have been banged up on the play for Baltimore. We'll come back to M&T Bank Stadium after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Cincinnati skating on thin ice at 3-6-1, just trying to stay alive in this AFC North. First quarter numbers, 92 yards for Baltimore. And the Bengals with a chance to put points on the board. Or banged up his right shoulder on the previous play, but he's in there. Eifert sets up on the outside. Dalton walks in on him. Eifert can't haul it in. Matched up against the diminutive Tavon Young, and he couldn't win the matchup.
Yeah, 6'6" against 5'9". And really, it's just a post-up type of throw here, but not a good one, not high enough, and not away from the defense. Going back to the inside where Young could make the play easily.
3rd and 3 for Cincinnati. 10-0 lead for the Ravens. Dalton fires to the end zone. Deflects off the hand of Brandon LaFell. He claims he was held by Sharice Wright on the play, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, LaFell still had inside position on Wright as he goes all the way around him, but the ball thrown so high that LaFell can't get his other hand up. He claims that Wright had his right hand pinned to his side, but another poor throw by Andy Dalton.
So Mike Nugent on for a short field goal attempt of 23 yards. Missed a couple of point afters last week in that loss to Buffalo. And this play is whistled dead before the Nugent kick was allowed. Officials huddle up. Now, there was no flag. They just weren't set. 23-yard attempt. So Mike Nugent has to do it again. Tyler Ott will snap it. We got a practice one in. Huber will hold it. From 23 yards away. He's got it. Cincinnati cuts into the Baltimore lead. It's 10-3 Ravens early in the second quarter. Well, that's the story of Cincinnati's season on offense. They go 69 yards on 14 plays, but it's a field goal. They're top 10 in the NFL in total yards, but they're 25th in scoring. Opportunity goes by the wayside, and now Mike Nugent will kick it off to Devin Hester. 5 career kickoff returns for touchdowns for Hester. And this one returned to Hester from the 5. Hester slowed down as he hit the 20 and then buried there by Vincent Ray on special teams. Week 12 continues later today on CBS, and for some of you on Fox, then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tune in tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN. Ravens half game behind Pittsburgh for first place in the AFC North. Steelers beat Indianapolis on Thursday night. Baltimore beat Pittsburgh in their one meeting this season, so currently they own the tiebreak. They'll play again on Christmas. There's Flacco on first down. That ball deflected picked up by Moreeeee. Joe Flacco once again intercepted by the Bengals defense. This has been haunting him through the years.
And second time today he's had a pass deflected. And again, it's going to be Carlos Dunlap with the big hands up there. This is 11 times now this season that Dunlap has affected a pass at the line of scrimmage. And this time it pays off big time for Moreeeee and the Bengals.
10th interception of the season for Flacco. And for Moreeeee, it's his first INT. So flip the field here with Cincinnati taking over inside the Baltimore 20. They have a 6th offensive lineman, Jake Fisher. And another scoring chance for the Cincinnati offense. Working out of the pistol. Dalton on a give for Hill. Hill takes that hole and turns it into a 3-yard gain, brought down by Brandon Williams. NFL Today update, JB and Bart Scott.
Hey, Ian, here's a nice game.
We call this bend it like Beckham, and fresh legs as Derrick Henry takes it in for the 11-yard score, tying it up in Chicago.
Back to Ian Eagle.
Well, the way things are set up in the NFL now, guys, you better have 2 running backs that you can count on. DeMarco Murray, of course, in Tennessee, and the rookie Derrick Henry as the Titans try to keep pace in the AFC South. Cincinnati down 7 to Baltimore. 3 tight ends in this formation. Give it to Hill. Trying to string it to the outside, and he's held to a 1-yard pickup with a number of Ravens there defensively to greet him, including Williams and Orr.
That shows you why the Ravens are so good stopping the run when you've got a nose tackle like Brandon Williams that can get nearly to the sideline. Now we got a Raven that's slow getting up, and the medical staff coming out to check on Sharice Wright. Solid gang tackling for the Ravens.
Terod Powers replaces Sharice Wright. Wright missed about a month of action with a thigh injury. Medical staff is checking on him. This is a 3rd and 7 now for Cincinnati. Rex Burkhead in. On 3rd down, Dalton didn't expect the snap. Trying to jump on top of it. Baltimore was there, and they've got it. The Bengals give it right back. It is Doomerville on the recovery.
Well, a lot of pointing going on. Bodine snaps the ball before Dalton's ready. Huge turnover.
Miscommunication between the center Russell Bodine and quarterback Andy Dalton. That's 6 giveaways now for Cincinnati in the last 4 games. Ravens get the football back. Terrence West to the outside. West keeps the legs churning. He's got a 1st down. He carried Denard with him. 16-yard rip. Well earned by Terrence West.
Boy, tremendous power, too, by Wright. West here as he gets up here into the hole to the outside. Iloka's got a real good squared-up shot on him, and he just bounces off and carries 2 more Bengals with him out to the 35.
Baltimore working quickly again. This time West is hit right at the line of scrimmage for no gain by Pat Sims, the 9-year veteran. So Kenneth Dixon will come in and replace Terrence West. West, the local product for Dixon last week. It was a return close to home in Dallas. He's from Arkansas, but he had a lot of family and friends that came out to see the game. He enjoyed the experience other than the result. Play fake. Flacco. Deep one. Flacco extending his pyramid, but he cannot secure it.
They talk about Flacco reaching every inch of this field with his strong arm. It's a beautiful throw, and how about this effort? Just thrown about a foot too far as he had to get it over the head of Iloka. And as he hits the ground, the ball is going to come out.
Brings up 3rd and 10 for Baltimore. Flacco is now 8 of 12 with a touchdown and a pick. Juszczyk flanks Flacco. On third down, Flacco. Nearly got knocked down. He's going to run, and he has room. Flacco across midfield, and an awkward slide again for Flacco. Watch out for that brace. 16 yards for Joe Flacco on the ground.
Now the protection's pretty good at first, but he can't step up into the pocket. But this is surprising speed here for Flacco as he runs away from Dansby, and that brace kind of just sticks in the turf there at the 50-yard line. He's looking for an opening, and I think he's found it right about there.
Longest run of the season for Joe Flacco to Dixon. Hit hard. Dansby and Johnson tag him. 3-yard gain for Dixon. Told us that the game has definitely slowed down for him. The coaches told him that it would. He's seeing and hitting the holes quicker. And he acknowledges that NFL defenders are so quick. Things that worked for him at Louisiana Tech have not worked early in his career. So he's adjusted. Play action. Flacco being rushed by Geno Atkins. And it was Atkins who Flacco ran past on the previous first down run. Brings up third down now for Baltimore as Flacco throws it away.
And Geno Atkins doesn't get a whole lot of sacks, but he disrupts a lot in there in the middle. Got great penetration against Yonda that time. And it's going to be quite a battle as Yonda playing left guard again for the second week in a row. Was very effective last week against the Cowboys.
The last time Yonda played left guard, first 4 games of his junior year of college at Iowa. High throw over the head of Perriman. It's incomplete. Drake Kirkpatrick holds up in coverage. And Baltimore will punt with a 10-3 lead. 10:57 to go in this first half. It'll be Sam Cook punting to Alex Erickson, who sets up inside the Cincinnati 10.
So both teams get turnovers but can do nothing with them.
Cook averaging just under 47 yards per kick. A net of 39.6. This one goes over the head of Erickson, but bounces right up in the air and settles in nicely for Baltimore with Aiken down the field on special teams. 39-yard punt, but well placed. Dalton pinned deep in his own territory. Baltimore up by 7 on Cincinnati. The Bengals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line. Jeremy Hill brought down immediately. Gang tackled. He won't go down, but he's whistled down. And no gain on the play as Jernigan and Judon were there. Sharice Wright returns for Baltimore.
And at some point, the coaching staff and Andy Dalton have got to recognize that Wright is back in the game, and he came out of the game because he had hurt his leg. So you've got to test him right away by throwing something deep against him to see if he can run.
The one long drive resulted in 3 points for Cincinnati. Other than that, not much to speak of offensively for the Bengals. Dalton on a 2nd and 10. Underneath to Tyler Boyd. Hit by Gerard Powers. Sets up 3rd down and manageable. 6-yard gain. Tonight, can Alzheimer's be prevented? A groundbreaking study and the unlikely place 60 Minutes went to find it. Tonight, only CBS. 3rd and 4 for the Bengals. Cincinnati has beaten Baltimore in 5 straight meetings, 6 of the last 7. But at 3-6-1, they're off to their worst start since 2010 when they were 2-8. They finished that season at 4-12. Play clock down to 1. 4 receiver set. Dalton on a slant to James Wright. Very close. Lardarius Webb there defensively for Baltimore.
A very generous mark, too, given to the Bengals, and they'll pick up the 1st down.
That'll move the chains for Cincinnati. Baltimore's defensive coordinator, Dean Pease. This group is ranked number 2 overall in team defense, number 5 in scoring defense. And we'll get a timeout. Dalton heading towards the Cincinnati sideline. We'll take a break with 8:41 to go in this second quarter. Joe Flacco and the Ravens up by 7. Bengals have a 1st and 10 with 8:41 to go in the second quarter. The official came over to the Baltimore sideline, and John Harbaugh is going to challenge the spot.
Baltimore is challenging the ruling on the field as to the spot for the line to gain.
So the timeout gave Harbaugh and his coaching staff time to take a look at it. And it may end up costing Cincinnati. We'll find out.
The 17-yard line is the line to gain. And I don't think Wright got there. Marvin Lewis called timeout. And as you said, Ian, this gave the Raven coaches a chance to look at this replay and see that Wright is short.
See what Cleve Blakeman thinks. The call on the field was good enough for a 1st down. They've now seen the replay. Here's the ruling.
After review of the play, the receiver's forward progress ended at the 16.5-yard line, short of the line to gain. Therefore, it's not a 1st down. They'll bring up 4th down at that spot. Baltimore will not be charged with a timeout.
And Baltimore was ready to accept the ruling on the field if Cincinnati hadn't called the timeout.
Well, that's one question that Marvin Lewis is going to have to answer when this game's over. Why did he call timeout? What did he see with his offense that forced him to call timeout? They were hurrying to the line of scrimmage to get the next play off. Good job by the Baltimore coaching staff upstairs to look at the review of the play and get the challenge flag out from John Harbaugh.
So another punt here for Kevin Huber. Devin Hester standing at the Baltimore 40 waiting for him. No rush. Moves forward. And brought down shy of midfield. It was Chucky Brown on special teams. 41-yard punt, 6-yard return. The Ravens captured the spirit of the holidays on Monday. Defensive lineman Lawrence Guy served lunch and delivered Thanksgiving turkeys to a pair of schools, while Lardarius Webb distributed turkeys and side dishes to families at the Webster Kendrick Boys and Girls Club. Certainly a season of giving here in Baltimore, and the Ravens do a terrific job of that, getting out in the community. Excellent field position for Baltimore. They've got a 10-3 lead on Cincinnati. 1st and 10. Flacco dumps it off to the flat. Kenneth Dixon stays up front. That breaks free. Dixon showing off his acrobatic skills as Dre Kirkpatrick and Vincent Ray tried to bring him down.
Yeah, Kirkpatrick's going to whiff on the tackle here. Quick decision by Flacco to get it to Dixon in the swing route. There's the missed tackle and another missed tackle, and Baltimore close to a 1st down.
9-yard pickup for Baltimore. 4 receivers for the Ravens. Give it up. Dixon is buried with a flag down. Vontez Burfict read it perfectly.
Yes, he did.
Penalty marker thrown at the 42.
Illegal formation. Offense number 79 was not on the line of scrimmage. That penalty's declined. Brings up 3rd down.
Well, that was the option there for Cincinnati, either looking at a 2nd and 6 or a 3rd and 3. So they'll take the 3rd and 3 on the 2-yard loss by Dixon. Terrence West replaces him. 7:45 to go in this first half. 3rd and short. Nothing there for West. And the decision works out for Cincinnati. Baltimore goes conservative. Wallace Gilberry makes the stop for the Bengals, and it's 4th down for Baltimore.
That's good news for Paul Gunther, defensive coordinator for the Bengals. They've struggled this year stopping the run. 27th in the league coming in today. 2 back-to-back plays after a solid first down play by Kenneth Dixon.
Sam Cook, the punt. Erickson settles under it. Fair catch along the sideline, and it's inside the 10. 38-yard punt. Cincinnati will get the football back. They trail in Baltimore by 7. One of 5 divisional games in the NFL this week. Baltimore leads Cincinnati 10-3 with just under 7 minutes to go in this first half. Bengals have the football. Handoff to Jeremy Hill, trying to push the pile. They get him just short of the 10-yard line. Eric Weddle in on that stop. It's a 3-yard gain for Hill.
Yeah, Andy Dalton, 8 of 13 for 69 yards. Should have been picked off there by Eric Weddle. Didn't take advantage of the height advantage by Eifert. And then this miscommunication with his center, Russell Bodine, results in Dumerville recovering for Baltimore. 2 trips inside the red zone for the Bengals, just 3 points.
They have lost 9 straight games when scoring 20 points or less. They've been held to just 3 on the board right now as we approach the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Dalton on the line. It's complete. Brandon LaFell downfield, and a first down across the 30-yard line, 23 yards, working against Sharice Wright.
Well, finally, they go after Wright. Remember, he injured his leg last series of plays. It looks like he has a little bit of trouble spinning out of that coverage there on LaFell. Beautiful throw by Andy Dalton to give the Bengals some breathing room.
Cincinnati is 1-4 on the road this season. Give it to Hill. He got slammed right at the 35-yard line. 1.5 yards on the gain. Zachary Orr with a stop, and Hill is down.
That's the last thing the Bengals need is for Jeremy Hill to be in this condition right now.
I cannot put any weight on that left leg. Hill took a shot from Hoare, from Michael Pierce, Zachary Orr, and
Sharice Wright has got him low, and now he's going to get bent back.
Yeah, that's where it happened. Body's not supposed to bend that way as Hill is jogging along the sideline.
And that leaves the Bengals with Rex Burkhead right now, and Cedric Pierman, who was just activated days ago.
So here is Burkhead on a 2nd and 8. Stop and go. Burkhead. 3-yard gain as the legs keep moving for Burkhead. Timmy Jernigan there defensively for Baltimore, and Hill trying to work through the pain right now. Giovanni Bernard last week late in the game against Buffalo. Bernard tore his ACL, placed on injured reserve. Bernard, such a big part of the passing game, helping to protect Andy Dalton on 3rd downs. This is a 3rd and 5 for Cincinnati. Under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Dalton throws, incomplete. Trying to hit Brian Hewitt, and C.J. Mosley in coverage was over there with Hewitt.
How good a play is this for a middle linebacker to make on a tight end? Right side of the screen. Tremendous anticipation by Mosley, and then the layout here with the left hand to just push it away from Hewitt.
Dan Mosley's got 3 interceptions this season. Here to the punt. Hester lets it bounce, and touched by Cincinnati. They'll have it at the 19-yard line after the 43-yard kick by Huber. Let's check in with Evan Washburn. Evan?
Good news for Jeremy Hill. It's his left ankle, but he's expected to return when the Bengals take the field on offense. And Dan, just since this Sharice Wright injury seems to linger, it was his knee that they were working on, that right knee, that may have him a bit hampered. But again, Hill expected to get back in there.
All right, Evan, thanks very much. Baltimore's got a 10-3 lead on Cincinnati. Bengals with Andy Dalton and A.J. McCarron looking at the pictures. There's Flacco. On the bootleg throw to Juszczyk. There's no gain on the play. Carlos Dansby over there. Well, these two offenses never really gotten into gear this season. Baltimore, the struggles have come trying to punch the ball in. Cincinnati, similar issues This is a Baltimore team that's 5-5, half game behind Pittsburgh. Just based on the fact that the AFC North has been mediocre, it's kept the Ravens alive. Terrence West, the catch and run by West. And he's hit at the 30.
That should be good enough for a first down. It's curious that Flacco has not targeted Mike Wallace yet here in the first half.
Very close, but not quite enough for a first down. It's short. They need to get to the 30. It's third and less than a yard. Didn't get a great spot. Dixon in the backfield. Fake it. Flacco floats it on time. The catch and run. Mike Wallace showing off the speed. They got Wallace involved when they needed it. 31 yards on the slant.
And you can see he gets just beyond Vontaze Burfict, and then once he gets the ball in his hand, he turns on that world-class speed. That's he called that time on a 3rd and short by Marty Morningweg, and Flacco and Wallace pull it off.
There was a policeman on the sideline that nearly went down on the play. Maintained his balance. First down, step move, Dixon. Oh, helmets popping on an inside run. He doesn't go down. He's whistled down after the gain of 4. And time is ticking away here. We're down to 2:22 left in this first half. Officer, well done. He was not going to go down on the play.
No, he showed good agility, spun out of the hit, stayed on his feet, kept his powder dry.
Good scouting report, Dan. And we're going to hit the 2-minute warning here in the second quarter. 10-3, Baltimore with the lead and looking for more. Coming up, Verizon halftime report, JB and the rest of the gang. Latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. 2 minutes to play in this first half. And the bootleg, Flacco throws to Juszczyk. Hit along the sideline by Burfict. And they pick up 2 yards on the pass. 1:53 remaining in this first half. It's a 3rd and 4 now for Baltimore. Ravens have 17 offensive touchdowns on the season. They came in ranked 29th in the NFL in that category.
And no targets yet for Dennis Pitta.
Pitta came in as their leading receiver. 49 catches. Low snap. Flacco handles it. Flacco out of the pocket. Flag is thrown. And Flacco is out of bounds, well short of a first down.
And you can expect this to be holding against the Ravens.
Holding. Offense number 71. Penalties decline. Brings up 4th down.
Boy, if they accept this penalty, it might push them out of field goal range and force them to go for it on 3rd down.
So with 1:45 to go, Tucker is sent out there. That's an excellent point, Dan. The ball spotted at the 39-yard line. You take that hold, and that changes the complexion of this drive. It's a long field goal attempt. He's staring at a 57-yard attempt. He has made 31 in a row. Cox to snap it. Cook to hold it. From 57 yards away, Justin Tucker. He's the best kicker in the NFL. He probably would have made that from 67 yards away.
Well, the execution is perfect for the Ravens. The snap by Morgan Cox. Sam Cook gets it down with the laces away without even having to spin the ball. And watch this one spin through the uprights.
We asked John Harbaugh about Tucker, and he gave praise to Tucker, saying, look, he's the best in the NFL in his opinion. He also said he may be the best ever when it's all said and done. But he also gave praise. He said that whole operation is locked in. Snapper, holder, kicker.
Yeah, and it's so important for the holder to be able to catch the ball and just put it down and not worry about spinning it to get the laces away from the kicker, especially on a long kick.
Nothing phases Justin Tucker. 32 straight made field goals. Inside 40 yards, Dan, it's 51 in a row.
Amazing. And when you talked about Harbaugh, you left one thing out. You know, he may be the greatest of all time. Harbaugh said, just ask him.
He did.
Very confident. And that's what you need. That's what you want in your kicker, is confidence.
But think about what's going on around the league with head coaches that have to worry about that spot. Harbaugh does not. Erickson the return. Big block on special teams as Erickson takes the opening and is brought down to the 25-yard line. On special teams, it was Owasso for Baltimore. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher. Latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. So Tucker has extended the Baltimore lead. 13-3, a minute 34 to work with here for Cincinnati. Bengals have been held to 117 yards of offense in the first half. Burkhead is in. No Jeremy Hill. Dalton throws. Incomplete. Brandon LaFell with a penalty marker down.
And a late flag. Appears it may be on Sharice Wright.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense number 24. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Can't make contact after 5 yards. That's right at about 6 or 7, and then the grab here. You could have got Wright for a couple of infractions.
1:28 to go. Try the quick hitter, Tyler Boyd, in a matchup with Lardarius Webb, the former corner, now playing safety for Baltimore.
And it's so important the way the game is now to have safeties that have ability to play man-to-man, as Webb did and has done throughout his career. Moving to safety from corner, real asset.
2nd and 10 for Cincinnati. It's Burkhead lining up in front of Dalton. Ravens crowd the line. Rush coming on the blitz. Floater is nowhere near Brandon LaFell. And it was Webb on the safety blitz for Baltimore.
Well, he comes from the outside here. He's totally unblocked. And Dalton sees him, knows he has to get rid of the ball. And he just airmails LaFell. Those incomplete passes that take no time off the clock at all.
Andy Dalton's been accurate throughout his career. He's 9 of 16 in this first half. They give it to Burkhead. Brought down from behind by Orr. Loss of 2 on the play. And now Baltimore will use a timeout, conserving clock. There's still a minute 15 to play.
Just a little hesitation there by Orr as he get by Clint Bowling, leading tackler for the Ravens. And that's a perfect as he wraps up both legs.
Orr comes from an athletic family. Of course, his dad played in the NFL 8 years. Terry won a couple Super Bowls with Washington. His brother Nick, TCU. Another brother Chris, Wisconsin. Zachary Orr making a name for himself in his 3rd year in the NFL out of North Texas.
And that name Orr is a famous name here in Baltimore. Go back to the great wide receiver Jimmy Orr. Played with Unitas.
Got a Unitas connection. Teammate of yours in San Diego. And Johnny U's final year. Big kick from Hubert. Hester twirled around. Now trying to get to the outside. Turns the corner. And he's out of bounds.
And a huge block by Marquestin Huff took out 2 Bengals. And one of them is still on the ground. Chucky Brown still down.
Brown, the injured Bengal, as they tend to him, will step aside with 1:01 to go in this first half. Chucky Brown is still down on the ground for Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's one of the gunners being double teamed here. And as he tried to get away from both blockers, suffered some type of leg injury.
He's a former Raven, won a Super Bowl as a member of the Baltimore Ravens, originally a 5th-round pick in 2011, also had a cup of coffee with the New York Giants. They are bringing out the cart for Chucky Brown. 29-year-old from Houston, Texas. Brown helped to the cart. Backup defensive back and special teamer for Cincinnati. Baltimore medical staff was over there as well. Right leg of Brown. With 1:01 to go in this second quarter. So the Ravens have just over a minute to work with here. 1st and 10 at their own 27. Chucky Brown, 5th-year pro from Texas.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how aggressive the Ravens want to be with 2 timeouts.
They lead at 13-3 over Cincinnati. Kenneth Dixon lines up in the backfield. Flacco to throw it. On time, Dennis Pitta. First catch of the day for Pitta.
And so many times Pitta is clearing out for underneath receiver, but watch this route down the middle. He's primary this time, although Aiken almost took it away from him on his short crossing route.
Flacco again. It's Mike Wallace. Catches it in Cincinnati territory and tackled at the 48-yard line. We're down to 35 seconds left. And a timeout called by Baltimore. 1 remaining now for the Ravens. We asked John Harbaugh about Pitta. He said he's starting to get his speed back. It has taken him a little longer to separate from defenders. The fact that Dennis Pitta is even playing in the NFL after a multitude of injuries. Hip injury 2015, limited to 3 games in 2014, limited to 4 games in 2013. Big part of that Super Bowl team and that playoff run. Out of the gun on a 2nd and 3. Flacco hits Pitta again. It's a first down near the 40-yard line. You know that you're in Tucker territory once you get it into this area of the field. He just made a 57-yarder look like it was nothing.
And that pass over the middle, though, cost the Ravens time, so they have to use their final timeout. This is really where you have the luxury of a big arm quarterback in Flacco.
Right now it would be a 59-yard attempt if Baltimore got no more yards on this drive. They've got 30 seconds left. Line of scrimmage is the 41. Operating out of the gun, Flacco sets, throws, sideline. Trying to hit Mike Wallace. It's incomplete. Kirkpatrick and Iloka back there defensively for Cincinnati.
A good job by Iloka coming over there. This is a cover 2 man with Kirkpatrick playing the short routes. Like Wallace never even located that ball as it kind of whistled right by his helmet. But Iloka was there to make sure he couldn't make the catch.
Steve Smith just one catch today, covering 3 yards, and even that was debatable that he brought it in cleanly. Wasn't challenged by Cincinnati after the short game. Flacco. Get it to Smith. They whistle down to the 36. Remember, they have no timeouts left. Montez Burfict, Darquez Denard. That's the risk you take, throwing it middle of the field. 5-yard gain. And Flacco,
Clock.
5 seconds, 4 seconds. And that's where he spikes it with 2 seconds left and a 4th down now for Baltimore. Tucker trots onto the field. Just made one from 57 yards away. This is from 54 yards for Justin Tucker.
Well within his range. His career long is 61. He just made that 57-yarder in the same direction.
Also made a 52-yarder today. Cincinnati will use a timeout. Tucker gets a practice kick and he makes it.
Even makes his practice kicks, huh? Marvin Lewis looking to ice him. Good luck with that.
So Tucker will get back into his routine here. Andy Dalton has been limited to 92 yards passing in this first half.
Looks like the breeze is at his back, so that should aid this long try.
Justin Tucker, 54-yarder. He knocks it through. We hit halftime with Baltimore in front, 16-3. Tucker has 3 field goals of 50 or more yards. Verizon halftime report is coming up after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. That ball deflected and intercepted. It's picked off by Malaluga. Flacco takes a shot. End zone. Touchdown. Oh, what a grab.
Ball perfectly placed by Flacco to the back of the end zone.
Here in Baltimore, we get you ready for second half action with the Ravens in front, 16-3 at the break. Right now, let's take a look at the first half fresh start presented by Febreze.
14-yard touchdown pass from Flacco, perfectly placed in the back of the end zone, and Perriman with his only target makes it pay off for 6.
Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn down on the sideline. We know what's at stake here for Baltimore. They need to keep winning to keep pace with Pittsburgh. They would move back into a first-place tie with the Steelers with a victory. Currently own the tiebreak. For Cincinnati, look, the numbers are what they are. You lose here, and then mathematically at some point, you're just going to be out of this thing.
And a couple of big questions for Cincinnati. Jeremy Hill's health, number 1. They need him to get their running game going in the second half. And then where's Tyler Eifert? No catches for Eifert. And with A.J. Green down, he's got to come up big in the second half for the Bengals to have any chance to get back in this one.
No A.J. Green, no Giovanni Bernard, and challenges on offense. This has been a recurring theme for Cincinnati throughout the season. They had it going last few years, playoff team the last 5 years, but the offense has been a struggle for Andy Dalton and company.
Especially in the red zone. Twice to this in first half in the red zone, only 3 points to come my way with it.
How about for Baltimore? Joe Flacco looking sharper. You mentioned the issues that Flacco has had against Cincinnati in his career. He did have the pick, but Flacco for the most part in control on offense, and his kicker isn't half bad either. Justin Tucker, first kicker in NFL history with 3 50-plus yard field goals in the first half.
And each of them absolutely perfect right down the middle. That's why they call it football, Ian. 4 field goals in the first half. 1 for the Bengals and 3 for Tucker.
Is that why?
I think so. I'm not sure. I agree with it. I'd like to see the foot taken out of football and just call it air ball or something like that.
Just ball.
That's just me.
Let's Google that. Confirm it before you make those large proclamations.
But I got to say, your calls on Tucker's 3 field goals are Hall of Fame worthy.
Oh, man. Yeah, put him on a flight to Canton right now. Erickson, the return man after the Tucker kick. Cincinnati needs something here, and it's not going to happen on this return by Erickson. He's dropped at the 25. Down to Evan Washburn, third member of our crew.
Well, and let's start with Justin Tucker. I just spoke with John Harbaugh, and he said it is pretty unbelievable. He also pointed out they're kicking into the win right now because they want the win in the fourth quarter if things get necessary for Tucker to make a big kick. Generally pleased with the way his team played. Thought on defense they need to cover a little bit better. As for the Bengals, Marvin Lewis put it all on third down. The way that the Ravens are performing on third down and they are not is the difference, as he put it. And we saw Shockey Brown go off on a stretcher. Guys, he's done for the day with a knee injury.
All right, Evan Jeremy Hill is back in for Cincinnati. Hill tries to cut it back and cannot. Baltimore has been fully prepared in the ground game. C.J. Mosley has been a standout as usual. First half numbers, 115 yards for Cincinnati. Baltimore with 210. Each team turned it over once. 10-plus yard plays, a bunch of them for the Ravens. 9-3 for the Bengals.
And the Ravens 5 of 10 on third down. The Bengals just 2 of 8.
And this is a 2nd and 12 for Dalton and the Bengals. Play action. Dalton throws. And there's Eifert. Flag down. Eifert took a hit to the head. Brought down to the 44 by the combination of Weddle and Orr. Tyler Eifert, who missed the first 6 games with an ankle injury. 20-yard pass play.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 32. The hit to the head and neck area of the receiver. It's 15 yards from the end of the run. First down, Cincinnati.
Well, Eifert gets behind Zachary Orr, and there's the shot by Weddle. You can see Eifert actually was dipping down to cover up here, and that's where the contact made. It was certainly not a target by Weddle to the head of Eifert.
Well, that's 20 yards on the pass play, 15 yards with the penalty. The trickery to LaFell. Stiff arm, he's out of bounds. 3 yards on the zigzag, and Eric Weddle gets to the edge and makes sure LaFell couldn't turn it upfield.
Now, it was a zone defense by the Ravens. It's tough to have a reverse work against a zone because players are just playing an area of the field. They're not going with man-to-man coverage. So when LaFell got to the outside, Weddle was waiting for him.
Shotgun for Dalton, 2nd and 7. Dalton out of the pocket. Dalton on the move. He will throw it away. Pressure from Dumerville.
You can see a frustrated Andy Dalton. He had good protection to begin with, but nobody could uncover in the secondary. Winston doing a good job on Dumerville. Dumerville showing still he's got some good wheels there. It's like he's over that foot injury. That sideline so many games.
11th year in the NFL for Elvis Dumerville. Jeremy Hill now on the sideline. Bengals will go empty here, operating out of the gun on a 3rd and 7 opening drive of the second half. Dalton, sideline throw, incomplete through the hands of James Wright, with Sharice Wright there, no relation on defense.
You can just see how much Andy Dalton misses A.J. Green, can't you? This is a catch that even though it's thrown high, you'd expect A.J. Green to make, but it just goes whistling through the hands of James Wright.
Well, here's an interesting part, Dan. If you're the Baltimore Ravens, you probably try this field goal. It would be 56 yards. You're the Cincinnati Bengals, you punt.
Especially with the struggles that Nugent has had this season.
Huber punting to Devin Hester. Fair catch called for. Brings it in cleanly at the 10-yard line. Baltimore will have it with a 16-3 lead. 13:09 to play in the third. Baltimore Ravens at 5-5 on the season. They had that 27-17 loss to Dallas last week, where the Cowboys just overwhelmed them in the second half. We'll have to run in the football here with Terrence West. Vontez Burfict in on the stop. It's a 7-yard gain.
A good 1-2 punch for the Ravens so far today. A 16-yard reception there, followed by a 15-yard run by Kenneth Dixon. Terrence West getting involved in the passing game for 16-yard catch there. 92 total yards in that first half between the two of them. Good balance.
Flacco throws on second and short, and he hits Steve Smith. That'll be good enough for a first down. Combination of Ray and Denard make the tackle. This rivalry, when you think back, Marvin Lewis, the former defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, took over as the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals after a year in Washington. And this game meant a lot to him based on his history with the franchise. Baltimore controlled the series early on in Lewis's tenure. Obviously, it's been a reversal in recent years. 5 straight wins for the Bengals. Straight line run by Dixon. And he has stood up at the 25-yard line and brought down by Geno Atkins. 4-yard pickup. Go back to that 2000 Super Bowl team. There is Marvin Lewis flanking head coach Brian Billick, and Lewis, the architect of the Baltimore defense, a record-setting defense. And Marvin brought the same mentality to Cincinnati, has built that defense with a similar mold in mind. They're just not getting the results this year. Offensively, they're certainly not doing the job, and defensively, the numbers aren't quite what they used to be. Wallace catching one. He's got room. Mike Wallace tripped up at the end as he hit the perimeter. Wallace loops for 19 yards.
Well, with all his speed, this is the area of the field that there's no Bengal is going to be there once Wallace makes this catch. You can see Burfict is the closest one to him. And he finally will force him out of bounds, but it's twice now that Wallace, on a little swing pass that time and on a crossing route in the first half, has been able to use all that speed.
And it's Burfict who is slow getting up. Hunched over on a knee.
Well, Burfict gives great effort throughout the afternoon. You can see him diving at the legs of Wallace there.
Now Burfict walking off on his own towards Marvin Lewis. Burfict, volatile linebacker. He plays such a big role for this Cincinnati defense, but you know, he's had those moments where they just haven't been able to control him. Flacco off the fake, looking downfield. Nothing open. Flacco will veer towards the sideline. Out of bounds. Chased by Wallace Gilberry on the play for Cincinnati.
Well, we'll see why Flacco was forced to run out of bounds, because nobody's open here. Wallace is kind of covered there. He's Aiken on a little delay route. He's got nothing there, so Flacco just uses his legs to get out of bounds.
2nd and 7 here for the Ravens. Dixon the cut. Whistle down at the 49-yard line. So that's a gain of 2 for Dixon. Patrick and Denard helping in run support, a pair of corners. Brings up 3rd and 5 now for Baltimore. We're under 10 minutes to go in the 3rd. Ravens have a 16-3 lead on Cincinnati.
Bengals did get a turnover in the first half on the Moreeeee interception. They could sure use a takeaway at this point to get some momentum going and better field position for their offense.
Let's see what Marty Morningword has up his sleeve on a 3rd and 5. Shotgun. Flacco. Nearly a pick by Kirkpatrick.
That would have been a pick 6 too, Ian. He breaks on this curl route. And this one should have gone the distance. Watch him cut right in front of Pitta there. Just gets bumped off the reception by Pitta. Or the interception, rather, and it would have been 6.
Cincinnati with the disguise on defense, and Flacco was fooled. Cook to Erickson. Along the sideline, it's out of bounds. Erickson was looking for a fair catch, realized that he was in a tough position. 37-yard punt. Dalton and the Bengals down by 13, third quarter. Dan, you know what I've realized?
What's that?
Our T-shirts lead better lives than we do. Every single week, they've got a new activity.
That beard is no Eric Hyde.
Toss it to Jeremy Hill. He gets hit down low as he works his way towards the sideline by Lardarius Webb. You know, this is a division that is used to sending multiple teams to the playoffs. It's going to be one this year out of the AFC North. There were years where they sent 3 teams to the playoffs. 2014 and 2011, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh all qualified. Ravens trying to get to 6-5 on the season. And off to Hill, up the gut, 2 yards. Brandon Williams there defensively for Baltimore.
And you know that Jeremy Hill is really gutting this one out. Sprained his ankle, it appeared severely in the first half. Jogged along the sidelines and is back in the lineup because the Bengals need him. Down to just him and Rex Burkhead and Cedric Pierman. Pierman just joined the team this week.
On a 2nd and 8. Dalton with a deep drop. Out of the pocket. The fake. The floater to Hill in stride. And he's out of bounds at midfield. Buying time. Andy Dalton gets it to one of the healthy playmakers with no A.J. Green or Giovanni Bernard. But as you just mentioned, Dan, he's not 100% healthy.
Pretty athletic toss there, too, by Dalton. Had to get it around Zachary Orr and softly to Jeremy Hill. It's the type of play to start to build some type of momentum as they reach midfield.
Rex Burkhead in. Fake it. Dalton from behind. Gets hit by Suggs.
And the question is this a fumble or is this an incomplete pass? It looked like Suggs got to him before his arm was coming forward.
Ball popped in the air.
Ruling on the field is a fumble that went forward out of bounds. We'll bring it back to the spot of fumble. Brings up 2nd down.
Definitely a fumble. You could see he got to the ball. So give Suggs another sack and another forced fumble. Lose 10 yards on the play because that's where the fumble occurred, was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So that's 7 sacks on the season for Terrell Suggs. 2nd forced fumble of the season for the 6-time Pro Bowler. And now it's a 2nd and 20 for Cincinnati. Hill back in there. Fake the handoff. Dalton throws. Right down the middle to Eifert. They've got a 1st down as Eifert battles his way to the 35-yard line. 25 yards on the pass play. Eifert in a matchup with C.J. Mosley.
Yeah, just right down the middle of the field for Eifert. He was targeted twice in the first half with 0 catches. He's 2 targets and 2 catches here in the second half, both right down the middle.
Pro Bowl season last year, suffered that ankle injury in the Pro Bowl that cost him the first 6 games of this season. Dalton. Little lob to Jeremy Hill, hit immediately by Zachary Orr on the play. 3-yard gain through the air for Cincinnati.
Well, Hill knew he'd be featured in the passing game with Giovanni Bernard out for the rest of the year. I'm not sure he expected to be the leading receiver for the Bengals. It's 5 catches now for 53 yards for Jeremy Hill.
He had 9 catches for 62 yards in the first 10 games of the season. Toss it offline to Boyd. Tyler Boyd, the intended receiver. We asked him about working with Andy Dalton. He said a lot of communication between the two of them. He follows Dalton's lead, asks a lot of questions to the 6-year veteran. Boyd was told early in training camp that, from Marvin Lewis, that he reminded him of Randall Cobb and he should watch film of the Green Bay Packer receiver operating out of the slot. 3rd and 7. Dalton gets rid of it. On a line to Boyd. First down. Brought down by Lardarius Webb on the play. Cincinnati is on the move. That's 22 yards. Dalton to Boyd.
Yes, but have they entered the dead zone? The red zone has been exactly that for the Bengals this season. They must convert with a touchdown here.
Hill back to the sideline. Andy Dalton was limited in that first half. This has been his best drive by far. And it brings up 1st and goal for Cincinnati. Out of the gun. Dalton steps up. Dalton throws it away.
It looked like Dalton had some running room along that right side.
And Tyler Eifert flexing those knees a bit after the play.
Well, he's working against McClellan, and he got double teamed there. It looked like Zachary Orr gave him an elbow right to the midsection. Right there, that kind of lit up Eifert.
2nd and goal for Cincinnati. Dalton sets the feet, throws, catch made inside the 5. Erickson would not go down. Finally brought down. They're going to give him forward progress, and a 7-yard gain sets up 3rd and goal for the Bengals.
That's only his 3rd catch of the season. Pretty good effort here too by Erickson, working against the rookie Tavon Young. Looking for help from that offensive line to push him across. Bengals have got to think about going for it on 4th down if they don't get it here.
They trail 16-3. We've got 4:23 to go in the 3rd, and a timeout called by Baltimore. Ravens have 2 timeouts remaining. Tonight on CBS, one NCIS Los Angeles agent is being targeted, and the conspiracy puts the whole team in danger. Don't miss a new NCIS Los Angeles. That's tonight after 60 minutes, only CBS. Marvin Lewis and John Harbaugh. Harbaugh 7-9 in his career against Cincinnati. 2 of the longest tenured coaches in the NFL. Lewis, his 14th year with the Bengals. Harbaugh, his 9th year with the Ravens.
And the last time the Ravens were in this position, tried to throw a fade to Tyler Eifert on 5'9" Tavon Young. There's Eifert against Weddle.
3rd and goal. Dalton. Moving. Dalton back in the end zone. Touchdown. It's Eifert. Cincinnati finally cashes in.
Great pass protection for Andy Dalton as he had all day to find Eifert. Looking for him at first, doesn't see him. Now he's going to roll out, buy some time. Eifert going along the back end zone, where the defenders have a real difficult time dropping that deep. Gets behind Mosley, stays in bounds. Mosley could have pushed him out of the back of the end zone, which would have been illegal contact, but probably would have gotten away with it. But that's now 17 career touchdowns for Tyler Eifert.
11 plays on that drive. 10 of them were passes for Cincinnati. Extra point, which has been an adventure. No good. Mike Nugent. The struggles continue for the veteran. He missed 2 last week. He has missed 4 of his last 7.
He hit the right upright twice last week, and this one does it again.
What's been missing from the Cincinnati Arsenal throughout most of the season, the Dalton to Eifert connection. 3-yard touchdown. They go 11 plays. Dalton 7 of 9 on the drive, 94 yards. And the Bengals are right back in it, but a Nugent missed extra point makes this a 7-point game with 4:16 to go in the 3rd. Hester's going to take it out. Hester spilled out as he comes up short of the 25-yard line. Andy Dalton on the season now, 12 touchdown passes. The second time he and Eifert have hooked up in the end zone. Baltimore has got the lead, a little tighter here in the third. The legend Johnny Unitas outside M&T Bank Stadium. Baltimore's got the lead. They've got the football. Handoff to Terrence West. Brought down just short of the 30-yard line as West pushes himself up. A little slow to get there. And now he'll head to the Baltimore sideline. Kenneth Dixon will come in to replace him. Second and 4 here for Baltimore. Dixon on the day. 7 carries, 28 yards. He's got 2 catches for 25 yards. Play action. Flacco dump it off underneath. Juszczyk, first down. And he's dropped across the 45. Kyle Juszczyk played tight end at Harvard. A fullback here with the Ravens, 16 yards. Good block from Yonda.
Yeah, watch Yonda get out in front on this screen pass. Playing with a sore left shoulder. Good block as well by Stanley, but at least a big block there by Yonda. Takes out Vontaze Burfict.
Yonda telling us playing at right guard was going to limit him because of the left shoulder injury. Dixon. Second effort by Dixon. First contact did not stop Dixon. 4-yard gain. Fedulum wraps him up. Margus Hunt initially whiffed.
And the Ravens have got to be concerned with the health of Terrence West as Dixon comes off the sidelines as the receivers, 4 wide receivers and a tight end in the game now.
Flacco will operate out of the gun on a 2nd and 6. Fires it right at the sticks. Caught by Darren Waller. Second-year tight end from Georgia Tech. Looking at that spot, Baltimore is staring at it as well. And it is enough for a first down. Keep the drive alive. Ball spotted at the 44 of Cincinnati with under 2 minutes to go in the third.
Flacco really doing a good job. That's the 9th different receiver that he has targeted this afternoon. He's now 21 of 30.
Flacco missed the last meeting between these two teams last year. In his last game against Cincinnati, 362 yards and 2 touchdowns. Handed off to Dixon in traffic. Dixon accelerates for 3.
Dixon also talked about, he mentioned Marshall Faulk as one of his idols, one of the guys he likes to pattern his game after, but also Le'Veon Bell, who's perhaps the most patient runner in the game. But that time, Dixon was showing very little patience. He hit that hole quickly.
And now Dixon will set up as a wide receiver. Shifting now to the backfield, flanking Flacco on a 2nd and 7. Cincinnati crowded the line and backed off. Play clock is down to 2. It is a running play. It's a spin off by Dixon. And give credit to Fedulum. The rookie stuck with it. Burfict couldn't bring down Dixon initially, and Fedulum did. The leading tackler in the Big Ten last year at Illinois.
Well, there's the missed tackle by Vontaze Burfict. Good stiff arm by Dixon. And as you mentioned, Fedulum with a good job of staying with Dixon. Loss on the play.
We're down to 15 seconds to go in the third. And a timeout taken by Cincinnati. Bengals have 2 timeouts remaining. 14 seconds left, third quarter in Baltimore. 14 seconds left in the third quarter. Baltimore facing a 3rd and 9. Cincinnati used its first timeout here at the end of the third. Flacco. 3rd down catch by Smith. Turns it upfield. And comes up short of the first down. Fedulum makes the tackle as Smith was trying to get to the line to gain. Time runs out here at the end of the third, and Smith is limping. We go to the fourth. Baltimore 16 and the Bengals 9. Back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Steve Smith, his foot got twisted at the end of the play. John Harbaugh making the decision to go for it here on 4th and 1. They could kick a 53-yard attempt, but Baltimore will go for it on a pitch, and they'll get it. Kenneth Dixon leans in for the first down.
Well, with the motion man coming here, it opens it up on the outside for Kenneth Dixon. You can see the corner, Adam Jones, going with Mike Wallace there, and Dixon picks up the first down easily. Gutsy call by Harbaugh, because that would have been a 53-yarder for Justin Tucker and a chance at NFL history.
Terrence West is back in there for Baltimore. We're underway in the fourth. Ravens have a 16-9 lead. West gets the carry. Up the middle, through traffic. West inside the 20-yard line for the Ravens. Let's go down to Evan Washburn.
Oh, and then Steve Smith Sr. back on the field. It was his right leg and foot area that was the area of concern. He just tried to walk through it. No extra tape job from the athletic trainers. But keep in mind, that is that foot and leg area that he dealt with earlier in the year.
Yeah, and we asked Joe Flacco about Steve Smith. He just said, hey, he's special. He's a once-in-a-lifetime type of talent. The athleticism and the attitude he brings every game, every practice. 2nd and 2 for Baltimore. West has no cutback lane, and Vontaze Burfict all over it for Cincinnati. It's a loss of 2 on the play. The other side of Smith, sometimes the emotions can boil over, and we saw it earlier as he got goaded into a back and forth with Vontaze Burfict, cost his team 15 yards.
But he still plays with a youthful enthusiasm and toughness that is rare in a wide receiver.
Will he be a Hall of Famer?
His numbers are actually pointing that way for certain.
Underneath, Dixon. They push him inside the 20. Adam Jones was over there defensively, and it's a 3-yard pickup, and now Tucker comes onto the field for Baltimore to extend the lead. Well, for Justin Tucker, kicks of 52, 57, and 54 yards. This is a 36-yard attempt. He's been automatic inside 40. Tucker's kick is good. Baltimore leads at 19-9, still early in the fourth. Ravens have built the lead to 10 with 12:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Baltimore trying to remain undefeated within the division. Penalties a huge issue last week. They had 12 of them for 136 yards, season high. Today for Baltimore, 3 penalties costing them 35 yards. Tucker kicks it off. Well, he's apparently automatic on kickoffs as well.
Went right through the uprights. I think he's automatic in any stadium.
Fair point. Hey, NFL fans, order your holiday gifts from NFLshop.com today. Save up to 25% off at the official store of the NFL. NFLshop.com. Justin Tucker, 4 of 4 on field goal attempts today. He's accounted for a lot of the scoring here for Baltimore. Stepping up, Dalton. A fake and slide by Andy Dalton, touched by Sharice Wright. along the sideline. Down to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, just a big play from Andy Dalton there. It's unique with this Cincinnati sideline today with the obvious absence of A.J. Green and Giovanni Bernard. After that touchdown to Eifert, you finally sense some positivity, but it was immediately sucked away by that missed PAT and then the long drive for Baltimore. You can tell they're searching for answers into the fourth quarter, obviously.
Yeah, and Evan, we asked Andy Dalton about it. He said, look, we still believe we have a chance. We're not focusing on the big picture, the playoffs. The focus is just on this week because it has to start with one game. But they haven't been able to get the season kick-started. Jeremy Hill brought down by Timmy Jernigan for no gain on the play.
And part of the Bengals losing all that positivity, besides the missed extra point, was that 7-minute drive that the Ravens had. And Harbaugh's decision to go for it on 4th and 1, converting there, just extended the drive, took more time off the clock.
This is a Cincinnati team that's used to winning. 5 straight trips to the playoffs. Dalton, incomplete. James Wright with a late flag. The Ravens sideline reacts, as do the fans. Tavon Young there defensively.
Yeah, I think this is a good call. It was a late call, but Tavon Young did make contact before the ball got to Wright. It was questionable whether that ball was on target or not.
Was it catchable?
There is no foul for defensive pass on the play. Brings up 3rd down. Incomplete pass.
What do you think?
That's bang, bang. He's there before the ball got there. And it was a catchable ball. He got both hands on the ball. Now, why they're saying that's not pass interference, I think the Ravens sideline did a good job of lobbying.
Shotgun on a 3rd and 10. Rush coming. Dalton. Well, that one is thrown to the Baltimore sideline and almost caught by Ryan Mallett, the backup quarterback.
Now, that one was uncatchable.
Yeah, even for Mallett. And Andy Dalton will head over to the Cincinnati sideline. 18 of 32, 209 yards, and a touchdown. Huber will punt. Devin Hester, the return man. 14 career touchdowns on punt returns. Hester lets this one go over his head, and the wise choice. Rolls to the end zone. Back out to the 20. 63-yard punt, but a net of 43. 19-9 Ravens. Baltimore Ravens have controlled the Cincinnati Bengals. They've got a 19-9 lead with 10:43 to go in the fourth quarter. Deep drop by Flacco. Cannon of an arm. He's got Steve Smith Sr. with a flag down.
Yeah, he really, this is going to be against Steve Smith as he just shoved Dre Kirkpatrick out of the way.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 89. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
Well, here's Smith on a deep curl route. There's that strong left hand. And does not get away with it.
Easy call for the officials. Ravens retreat back to the huddle. And the line of scrimmage is now the 10. Smith is heading off for Baltimore.
And again, this is an area of the field and a time of the game there. The Bengals have got to see if they can come up with some type of takeaway.
Baltimore 2nd in the NFL in penalties. West on the spin move. And Pat Sims is there defensively, 1.5 yards on the gain. Well, Baltimore enters action at 5-5. A win puts them right back atop the AFC North. Pittsburgh 6-5. Ravens currently have the tiebreak. It's bunched up in there with Miami proving that they're for real. Buffalo, Indianapolis, Tennessee, all in the hunt in the AFC. Very challenging remaining schedule, though, for Baltimore. Flacco on the cross to Waller, stiff arm. And he works that sideline. Out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Adam Jones over there with Waller. 9-yard pickup. That's scheduled for Baltimore, Miami, New England, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and then Cincinnati. Smith back in for the Ravens, facing a 3rd and 10 at the 20. Coming up on 9 minutes to play in the 4th. Flacco out of the pocket. And the rush forces Flacco to get rid of it. Vontaze Burfict leading the charge for Cincinnati. Ravens not taking any chances. And they will punt it away here in the 4th.
No, Burfict just overpowered Kenneth Dixon. Watch him come on the blitz here. Dixon tries to come over and block him, but Burfict with a head of steam just blows right by the rookie and forces this incompletion.
The punt from Cook. Low punt. Erickson fields it. Erickson stops along the sideline, and he swung out of bounds as he crossed the 45-yard line by Chris Moore. 44-yard punt. 11-yard return. The door is still open for Cincinnati. Baltimore in front, 19-9. 8:50 to play. 4th quarter. Baltimore 19, Cincinnati 9. Terrific field position to open up. Burkhead with the catch. Out of bounds, hit by Zachary Orr. 2-yard pickup through the air. Wednesday on Survivor. A special advantage comes into play for the first time ever. See how it can change the game Wednesday at 8, 7 Central only. CBS. 2nd and 8 for the Bengals. Dalton again. James Wright. First down. Tackled at the 40 by Lardarius Webb. NFL Today update. JB. Bart Scott.
A successful drive all the way around.
8 plays, 76 yards, capped off by this spectacular catch by Justin Hunter. 16 yards, a 2-point conversion is good. Buffalo leads 28-21.
10:46 left in regulation. Back to Iron Eagle.
Signs of life for the Buffalo Bills and for the Cincinnati offense. Rex Burkhead, the catch and run. With the injury to Gio Bernard, it's Burkhead stepping into that role. That covers 17 yards and a first down for the Bengals.
That's his longest reception of the year. Well executed as Zeitler is out in front along with Bodine. And a good effort by Burkhead to refuse to go down.
Line of scrimmage is the 23 of Baltimore. Dalton launches towards the sideline and a flag thrown. And a tussle between Wright and Young. Dalton took a hit from Mosley. Just one penalty against Cincinnati.
Fire the pass, holding defense number 36. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down, Cincinnati.
And the penalty starting to add up for the Ravens. That's number 5 against Baltimore.
And now as they get into the red zone for Cincinnati, again, obviously Tyler Eifert becomes a major target, but don't sleep on Brandon LaFell. He had a shot at a touchdown in the first quarter. It was just a little bit overthrown.
A jump. Pointing in both directions. Left side of the Cincinnati offensive line, right side for Baltimore on the front.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's Whitworth.
Yeah, it looked like Albert McClellan jumped first, but got back. Whitworth came out of his stance. The officials ruling Whitworth the guilty one.
So 1st and 15 now for Cincinnati. 7:24 to go in the 4th. Still a 2-possession game. Dalton stripped to the ball. Diving on top of it. Oh boy, Terrell Suggs knocked it loose.
The second time today that he's got a strip sack. Last one resulted in a 10-yard loss there. He clearly knocks the ball away from Dalton. Fortunately for the Bengals, that Ogbuehi gets on top of it, loses 7.
2nd and 22. Dalton is offline to Brandon LaFell.
So Dalton gets hit 2 plays in a row. Then when he gets a clean pocket, he's a little bit off target on the pass to LaFell.
Right now, they'd be looking at a 48-yard field goal with Mike Nugent, who's been shaky.
And they could use those 3 points, though.
They'll need 3, and they'll need 7. 3rd and 22. Low snap. Dalton handles it. Rainbow to the end zone. Incomplete. LaFell against the rookie Young. Penalty marker thrown back at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal use of hands to the face, defense. Number 50, it's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
A crusher against Albert McClellan.
Well, McClellan working against Andrew Whitworth, or actually on Bowling. There he bends the head back by Bowling, and Bowling calling for the flag and gets it.
The 6-year veteran just gave Cincinnati new life with 6:47 remaining in the fourth. First down for the Bengals at the 25 of Baltimore. Dalton pump fake. Dalton tosses it at the feet of Eifert. Incomplete.
They were trying to set up a tight end screen to Eifert, but Zachary Orr right in the middle of it. That man-to-man coverage on the tight end, and Dalton wisely threw it in the ground.
It's been all Burkhead on this drive in the backfield for Ken Zampese's offense. 2nd and 10. And it's been all passes for the Bengals on this possession. Dalton throws, and he hooks up with Tyler Eifert. Spun down inside the 20. 7-yard gain.
A quick out route by Eifert. Dalton is his primary receiver. He gets the ball before Webb can get to him.
3rd and 3 for the Bengals. We approach 6 minutes to play in the fourth. Baltimore up by 10. Dalton knocked away by Young. LaFell, the intended target.
Well, Young has been involved in a lot of plays here, a lot of close coverage. This time he's right on the back of LaFell. Knocks it away with his left hand, his right hand on the back, but he spins LaFell late after the ball is already knocked down. LaFell trying to get the call by spinning.
Now it's a 36-yard field goal attempt for Mike Nugent. Missed on an extra point today. From 36 yards away, he puts it through. 19-12 Ravens at even 6 minutes left in Baltimore. Entering action, the Bengals have been outscored 56-40 in the fourth quarter this season. Trying to mount a comeback here in Baltimore. Ravens have a 19-12 lead, 6 minutes to play. Mike Nugent, after the field goal, will kick it off for Cincinnati. Hester waits for it from the 1-yard line. Hester down with a flag down as well. Hit at the 25-yard line. Flag was thrown at the 18. Cedric Pierman on special teams with the wrap-up.
During the return, holding, return team number 41. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. First down, Baltimore.
Penalty against Anthony Levine. And that's the 7th penalty of the game against Baltimore. This continues to affect them week in and week out. So the ball is now spotted at the 9-yard line.
And psychologically, that penalty really boosts the hopes of the Bengals. Backed up are the Ravens at their 9. See how aggressive they are coming out of this part of the field.
On a give, Terrence West. It's blown up. Nothing there for West. Clock rolling. 5:42 to go in the fourth quarter.
There's just nothing along this left side as Michael Johnson does a good job, and so does Pecco right there.
Second and 10 for the Ravens. 108 rushing yards for Baltimore today. Flacco throws it to the sideline in the area of Juszczyk. Dunlap put the pressure on Flacco. That sped Flacco up on the throw.
And it stops the clock with the incompletion. Good coverage by Dansby on Juszczyk. That ball was thrown away by Flacco because of the pressure.
Pressure now on the Ravens offense, facing a 3rd and 10.
They've been struggling with third down conversions of late. Just one of their last 9.
Cincinnati trying to hold Baltimore to a 3-and-out. Flacco gets rid of it. And it's short of the first down marker. Dennis Pitta hit by Michael Johnson, and the Bengals defense has come through. Adam Jones put the pressure on Flacco.
Well, Michael Johnson is a defensive end who drops back in coverage to make that tackle. Here he is, number 90 right here. Here comes Pitta. This is a spectacular play by Johnson.
Now the Ravens use very little clock in the process. 1:25 on this drive. Cook milking it right now. Erickson waiting at his own 33. This punt hit along the sideline. Does take a Baltimore roll. It'll settle in at the 19-yard line. Huge kick by Cook. 63 yards.
Huge mistake by Erickson. That ball rolled 15 extra yards.
Coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader. Cam Newton and the Panthers take on Derek Carr and the AFC West leading Raiders, or Tom Brady and the Patriots face the New York Jets. Check your local listings. Second half of our NFL on CBS doubleheader. So Andy Dalton and the Bengals take over. They have 4 minutes and 17 seconds to work with. 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line, trailing by 7. Strong numbers in the second half for Dalton. Ravens asking their defense to come through once again. Give it to Burkhead. Burkhead's got a lane. Rex Burkhead with a first down run. Russell Bodine with a key block up front springs Burkhead for 16.
Well, Bodine right in front of Dalton, obviously. Here is the hole for Burkhead, and he shows really good acceleration. Good double team there with Clint Bowling. Ravens expecting a pass. The Bengals cross him up with that run.
Burkhead was a standout at Nebraska, drafted in the 6th round in 2013. Burkhead again. Lunges to the 40-yard line for 4 yards. Hit down low by Tavon Young. We're down to 3.5 to play in the 4th quarter.
And the Ravens have countered. They brought in Elvis Dumervil expecting a pass. They've got him on one side and Suggs on the other. The 2 sacks of Dalton today have been strip sacks by Terrell Suggs.
2nd and 6. Ravens load up the line of scrimmage. Running play again. Burkhead cuts to the outside, a stiff arm. And he angles out of bounds. Rex Burkhead, his dad Rick played fullback at Eastern Kentucky.
Now here's LaFell and Eifert here. And they do a good job of giving Burkhead the little bit of a lane there to the outside and then smartly getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. Good stiff arm there on Elam.
And now they'll rotate Jeremy Hill back in. First down for Cincinnati. 3:01 to play in the 4th. Baltimore holding on to a 19-12 lead. Play fake. Dalton to Jeremy Hill into Baltimore territory as he's dropped at the 45. 8 yards on the catch and run.
Another positive play on this drive for the Bengals. Dalton coming off his primary, finding the outlet. Picking up positive yards. About 8 that time.
Cincinnati has won 5 straight against Baltimore, 6 of the last 7. Second and 2 for the Bengals. Dalton, clean pocket, knocked up in the air, back to Dalton, and he knocks it down. Zachary Orr was there defensively.
And Suggs got his hands up on that one. Watch number 55 here. He sees he can't get through Whitworth, but he's playing the eyes of Dalton and moves to the inside to knock that ball down. Tremendous play by Terrell Suggs.
And it ricocheted off the helmet of Orr. Cincinnati's in 4-down territory with 2:21 to go. This is a 3rd and 2 for the Bengals. Operating out of the gun. Dalton swings it in there for a 1st down. Tyler Boyd sliding grab to the 36.
Well, how did he get this ball by C.J. Mosley? Mosley right in the throwing lane. Watch number 57 here. He's going to hunt up Boyd, and the ball goes right by him. Overran it.
We've hit the 2-minute warning. Cincinnati was trying to get a playoff. 2 minutes left to play in the 4th. Baltimore up by 7. Bengals are on the move. A missed extra point by Mike Nugent, and this is a 7-point game with 2 minutes to play. Cincinnati driving with the Ravens in front, 19-12. Dalton knocked down. Andy Dalton can't get a clean pass off with Matt Judon there defensively.
Now Judon goes about 6'3". Watch him loop to the inside against Bowling. And again, they're just watching the eyes of Galton and rising up and thwarting him with another deflected pass.
2nd and 10. 1:55 to play. Dalton fires it. Hauled in by Boyd across the 30-yard line. Hit by Lardarius Webb. 7 yards on the pass play.
Well, obviously, with this score the way it is, this is 2-down time. You're going to go for it on 4th, obviously.
On a 3rd and 3. Dalton. Rejected. Judon.
Well, they're not even interested in sacking Dalton. It's like they're just, here he is right here. Watch him get up in the air working against Whitworth.
3 of Dalton's last 5 passes have been deflected at the line of scrimmage. And now here's your ball game for Cincinnati. 4th down. Ravens trying to hold on. Dalton throws it to Tyler Eifert. It's a 1st down for the Bengals. Dalton with a strike.
Well, as Eifert working against Matt Elam on an out. Nobody to get in the throwing lane here. Perfect throw right to the body of Eifert. He wisely scampers out of bounds. Good protection that time for Dalton. He stood strong in the pocket.
Cincinnati is down to the 16-yard line of Baltimore. 1:21 to go. From the gun, Dalton to the end zone. Incomplete. Webb was the closest player to it. Tyler Boyd, the target for Cincinnati.
Now, at this point of the game, you really got to trust your veterans. It's tough throwing to a rookie, especially in the red zone. But Brandon LaFell with 33 catches on the year, and of course that man has got a touchdown catch here in the 2nd half already.
2nd down for Cincinnati. Dalton, pump, knocked up in the air, incomplete. This time Brent Urban defensively for Baltimore.
Now he is 6'7". He doesn't have to jump a whole lot. Watch Urban's right hand. He has to double clutch actually, and then gets back up there with a brace on his elbow and all. I don't think I've ever seen this before. 4 passes now knocked down by defensive linemen.
In the last 8 attempts.
Unbelievable.
3rd down for Cincinnati. Dalton from the gun. Steps up, loses the football. Baltimore's got it. Elvis Dumervil knocked it free. Lawrence Guy on the recovery.
Now Dumervil gets his first sack in a long time, and he gets a strip sack.
And Baltimore slams the door shut on Cincinnati.
It's such a skill to go after the ball instead of trying to make the tackle. Watch as he reaches beyond Winston here. Left hand and right hand punches it out. And that's all she wrote for the Bengals today and perhaps for their season.
3 strip sacks against Marvin Lewis's squad today. Lewis stoic. Frustration for Dalton. And Baltimore is ready to celebrate. Remember, Cincinnati has timeouts, 2 of them. With 1:05 left to play. Flacco on a give. Little wiggle from Dixon. Make sure you secure the football. Cincinnati will use one of those timeouts. 58 seconds left.
Now the Ravens could do without the wiggle. Just cover up that ball. Dixon in his short career has yet to fumble. As far as Terrence West is concerned, he's fumbled twice this year, but has lost none of them. So they're very good at protecting the ball.
If they stop Baltimore here, they're looking at getting the football with a few seconds left on the clock. There's 59 seconds remaining now. Cincinnati has 1 timeout left. No reason for Baltimore to throw the football.
And remember, the Bengals burned that timeout early in the second half.
On 2nd and 7 for Baltimore. They give it to Wallace. And he's hit right away by Will Clark. There's the final timeout. The last time Baltimore beat Cincinnati. November 10th, 2013. Ravens led by 14 entering the 4th. Giovanni Bernard, that touchdown cut it to 7. As time expired, A.J. Green came down with a Hail Mary to force overtime, but it was Justin Tucker's 46-yard field goal that gave Baltimore the 20-17 win. Cincinnati has won the last 5 meetings. So now a 3rd and 9 for the Ravens. Cincinnati is out of timeouts. And Dixon comes up short of the 1st down. That would have officially ended it. But right now you're looking at an 11-second difference between the play clock and the game clock on 4th down.
A couple of options here for the Ravens. I mean, they could conceivably have Cook run around and jump out of the back of the end zone for a safety, or trust the snap of Morgan Cox and let Cook just punt it away.
Three seconds on the play clock, and they will let that expire.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So 11 seconds remain on the game clock. Baltimore takes the delay. We've got Jerry Rossberg, one of the best special teams coaches in the NFL, in his 9th year with the Baltimore Ravens, coach with Cleveland and Atlanta. And John Harbaugh, whose background is in special teams, as he coordinated the special teams for Philadelphia before getting the head coaching job with the Ravens. 11 seconds left. Alex Erickson is the return man for Cincinnati at the 30-yard line. Baltimore's got a 7-point lead here. Morgan Cox, the snapper, and Cook. No one's rushing him. Flags come down. Nobody has even come close to Cook, who goes to the back of the end zone as time expires. But there will be holding probably called on the play. So that's going to throw a monkey wrench into this ending.
Yeah, they'll get the Bengals will get one more play. But you'd expect the Ravens to do the same thing, wouldn't you? How much time will be left here?
So Sam Cook just kept fading back, waiting for somebody to rush him.
They couldn't have been holding all of them, although there are 3 flags out there. Look like all the Bengals were on the ground. There are 4 flags, actually.
There's 1 at the 25 and then 3 bunched together around the 15-yard line.
That one at the 25 may be against the Bengals for holding the gunner. So we may have offsetting penalties here.
So flags come flying from every direction. Cook is just waiting for a white jersey to come in his vicinity. And he ran out of the back of the end zone for the safety. So there's the activity. You got to hold there, you got to hold there, you got to hold there.
It's a takedown, a bunch of
There
takedowns.
are multiple fouls on the play against the offense for holding. The result of the play is a safety. That 2 points will count, and by rule, there is no extension, so the game is over.
Well, that's it. It ends on a wacky play.
That is brilliant coaching, though. They were holding intentionally, knowing that the clock would run out because there's no pressure at all on the punter Cook. He steps out of the back of the end zone. Ball game.
Ravens get a much-needed win to stay on top in the AFC North, and they snap the Bengals' streak against them. Baltimore 19, Cincinnati 14. The Ravens improved to 6-5 and 4-0 in the division. They are tied atop the AFC North with that 6-5 record. Cincinnati now 3-7-1. That'll do it from Baltimore. Let's go to New York and JB.